Two parties, one nation. For over 160 years, Democrats and Republicans have dueled for power, shaping laws, wars, and what it means to be American. Welcome to Rivals Everywhere. Today, we're diving into the feud that's divided dinner tables, redrawn maps, and defined democracy. Democrats versus Republicans. Chapter 1. Birth of the Beasts. The Democrats trace roots to Thomas Jefferson's Democratic Republicans, champions of farmers and states' rights. The GOP, born in 1854, a fiery coalition of abolitionists, free soilers, and Whigs who rallied under Abraham Lincoln to end slavery. Back then, ideologies were fluid. Democrats dominated the South, Republicans the North. But the Civil War changed everything. 1865, the Union wins. Republicans rebuild the South during Reconstruction, while Democrats push back, birthing the Jim Crow era. By the 1890s, both parties were reshaped by industry, immigration, and imperialism. But the real earthquake came in the 1930s. Chapter 2. The Great Switch. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal, a radical expansion of government to save capitalism, turned Democrats into the party of workers, unions, and social safety nets. Republicans, they became the voice of small government and business. But the South stayed Democratic until a civil rights reckoning, 1964. Democrat Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act, declaring, "We've lost the South for a generation." He was right. Nixon's Southern strategy lured white voters to the GOP with coded appeals to states' rights. By Reagan's 1980s, the map flipped. Democrats leaned urban, diverse, and progressive, while Republicans become rural, white, and conservative. Chapter 3. Clash of the Titans. The 90s exploded with partisan fireworks. Clinton's centrist third-way Democrats balanced budgets and reformed welfare, while Newt Gingrich's Republicans weaponized talk radio and moral panic. You can see Monica Lewinsky. Then came 2000, Bush versus Gore, Florida's hanging chads, and a Supreme Court decision that split America like a live wire. 2008, Obama's election promised unity, but the Tea Party revolted, birthing modern GOP populism. Meanwhile, Democrats embraced Obamacare, LGBTQ+ rights, and climate action. By 2016, the fault lines were tectonic. Chapter 4. Breaking Point. Enter Donald Trump, a GOP rebel who remade the party in his image. Nationalist, anti-establishment, and unapologetically combative, Democrats swung left with Bernie's political revolution, then rallied behind Biden's return to normalcy. But normal was gone. Red versus blue wasn't just policy, it was identity. Today, Democrats push for equity, climate laws, student debt relief, and expanding healthcare. Republicans fight for liberty, deregulation, gun rights, and banning woke ideology. The battlegrounds: schools, churches, Twitter, and even your Netflix queue. 2020s. The divide is existential. Red states ban books and restrict voting. Blue states pass sanctuary laws and fund green energy. Trust in institutions crumbling. Compromise, a dirty word. Yet both parties agree on one thing: the other side is destroying America. Chapter 5. Generation Rift. Millennials and Gen Z tilt left, demanding action on climate and inequality. Gen X and Boomers skew right, fearing cultural erosion. But outliers blur the lines. Libertarians versus democratic socialists. Never-Trumpers versus MAGA diehards. Is there hope? History says yes, parties have reinvented before. But in the age of algorithms and gerrymandering, the echo chambers only get louder. 2024. The rematch, a rematch for the ages, a presidency hanging by a thread. The 2024 election wasn't just a battle for America, it was a war over its soul. Trump versus Harris, June 27, 2024. A 90-minute catastrophe. President Biden, once the Democrats' unshakable anchor, faltered on stage, igniting a firestorm. Donors panicked, allies wavered. By July, the unthinkable. Biden stepped aside, the first incumbent to quit since LBJ. Enter Kamala Harris, history's first female VP, now tasked with salvaging a fractured party. August 5th, Democrats crown Harris as their standard bearer. She picks Minnesota's Tim Walz, a progressive Midwest moderate. But could she outrun Biden's shadow and Trump's relentless machine? Trump's 2024 playbook. Grievance meets grind. Doubling down on the big lie, he rallied base diehards with promises to drain the swamp again. J.D. Vance, the firebrand Ohio senator, became his attack dog VP, courting Rust Belt rage. But the real weapon? Migrant caravans, rigged elections, and a vow to be a dictator on day one. Even though it seemed like a joke, Democrats warned of fascism. Republicans screamed woke tyranny. The divide wasn't just red versus blue, it was apocalypse versus utopia. November 5th, Trump's shockwave, he swept all 7 swing states, Arizona, Georgia, even Biden's blue wall of Michigan and Wisconsin. How? Demographic quakes. Young men, Hispanic voters, and the working class, once Democratic strongholds, flocked to Trump's populist cry, "You've been forgotten." Harris's Achilles heel? Inflation, gas prices, rent. The ghost of Bidenomics haunted her. Meanwhile, Trump's America First nostalgia, paired with TikTok memes dunking on woke elites, resonated with Gen Z's disaffected men. Behind the scenes, a legal siege. States tried to ban Trump over January 6th. The Supreme Court shut it down, but the damage was done. GOP election integrity squads deployed to polls, while Harris's team fought disinformation floods, while benefiting from mainstream medias in favor of her moves. On election night, Trump's 312 electoral votes sparked joy and terror. But no riots, just a nation holding its breath. Trump's win made history, the first non-consecutive term since 1892. Harris's loss, a warning incumbency's curse in an age of rage. 2025 dawns with existential questions. Did democracy survive or merely limp on? Trump's promises, mass deportations, NATO shakeups, and retribution. Harris's legacy, shattered glass ceilings, but a party left asking, what's next? The issues that decided it all. Inflation, abortion, democracy versus dictatorship. But in the end, 2024 proved one truth. In America, the only constant is conflict. Drop your allegiance in the comments and subscribe if you're ready for more rivals everywhere. Next time, capitalism versus socialism. China versus USA, you decide. Until then, stay civil if you can.